Thank you very much. I would like to welcome all the students. I know that students are from various places, not just from Mumbai. Uh, I think the students are also from Jalna as well as Bhubaneswar. So very thankful for everyone to come here. What we are going to do today is I'm going to talk about internship in a slightly different way. Just one sec, because my presentation somewhere is a bit of a problem. Can you put up the presentation from your side?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So internships, why internship is so important? Since the time that I came back from Germany, so I was in Germany for 2 years after my PhD. And when I came back and I joined ICT in 2011, since that time, I kind of made sure that every year when I'm interacting with the first year engineering students, BTech students, as well as our own master's chemistry students, I would try to imbibe this ideology of internship into them. And we are going to look at various aspects of why internship is important. What are the various points we should keep in mind? What is expected out of us when you are doing internship? How it helps us, first of all, because that is one of the most important and valuable question. Why should anyone do any internship? If you just do academic, learning, get some good marks, is it not enough? Or can you do it other than academia? Will it be helpful in that way? So all these questions which are generally there in a student's mind, I'm going to try to answer it in this 1 hour or so. I've tried to divide the presentation into few topics. First one would be definitely understanding why internship is important, what is required for us to develop this idea of internship. And then I'll move on to the more important topics of how to get an internship. What are the various ways which are available currently in India as well as abroad to get this type of internship options? Because I'm sure that, there are few people who would like to think that rather than India, they want to try abroad. So which is the right time? How to go about doing this? Maybe how to write a SOP, how to write an email. All these various points which are commonly not given anywhere. It is not like it has been given in a book. But through my experience, through my interaction with colleagues, through my interaction with professors abroad, even through my interactions with students, and this whole experience, what I have got in the last several, like 8 to 10 years, I'm trying to put it across in front of you. I hope it will be helpful for you. And at the end, if you have any kind of questions, we'll be more than happy to answer these questions. So let's make a start. Can you go to the next slide? So the first basic question, that if you want to do a research internship in science or engineering, which I think all of us are. So engineering to a large extent, even science students also there. So when someone wants to do a research internship, what really is an internship? Why should we do an internship? What does it give you? All these points I'm going to talk about in this first slide. So let's go one by one. We always go to this class, we are attending lectures. Let's say in my class, it will be organic chemistry. In certain other, it will be chemical engineering. It could be technology related subjects. There are books which are available, and commonly whatever is being taught to us, we are going to learn accordingly, and then we go and give the exams. The one thing which is missing, and I personally believe that the better understanding a student has about any concept would be by visualization, by hands-on knowledge. However, In a lecture hall, that is not possible. So most of time, examples are given to you. You are going to write the examples, you are going to solve them, and then you try to understand a concept. But let's say you take an example for organic chemistry, that you learn a concept, but you are still confused exactly how that reaction proceeds. And then you go to the laboratory, practical laboratory, and there you perform some experiment, and there you try to understand or correlate whatever you have learned in the lecture hall with what is going on in the laboratory, and whether it works out in the same way. That gives you a better understanding of the concept, and it remains in your mind for a longer period. So internship, in a way, it can also be looked upon as a practical understanding of whatever concepts you are learning in the lecture hall. Naturally, understanding the applications of concepts in the real world, that is going to be not so easy, but that is also possible. Sometimes, at least in my lecture, and I'm sure that I know some of my colleagues as well, during our lectures, we also try to apply the science to the real life world, whatever is going on in real life, how your science which you are learning would be envisioned or can be understood by you around yourself, whatever is going on around yourself. So simple example will be, let's say, polymerization reaction. There must be some BTech polymer students as well. Even chemical engineers, they learn some amount of polymerization processes. Even in case of first year, if you remember, some of you, I've taught you this. If you remember, there was a Ziegler-Natta polymerization reaction. I hope you remember all, some of you at least. So such type of reactions, when you write the mechanisms, when you write the reactions, is not very easy for a student to understand. But look around. Everything nowadays around you is made up of plastic, which is a polymer. And that gives you an idea that how that process has become so important over a period of time. So these concepts, if you start visualizing around you, and then you try to understand the concept via the methods which are available, the processes which are available, and you perform it yourself, this is going to be a very like big eye opener for you. So internships can give you all these options. Next thing is developing new strategies. For example, age-old chemistry is going on since 1980s, 1990s. All the chemistry is going on. We already heard about Ziegler-Natta was 1960s. You must have heard about several other reactions such as aldol condensations and many others. These are already in 1970s, 1980s reactions. But can you try to develop a new method for it, a faster method, which will allow you to either apply for some simple reaction, or maybe under whom we are doing it, a professor, he or she is able to apply it towards, let's say, a big commercial molecule. So that development of these type of new strategies or processes, by taking something which is already known 20, 30 years back, but making it more available for the current scenario, this is also possible when you are taking up internships. The important part when you think about an internship is a person who can guide you well, a person who can tell you exactly what an internship is, what is expected out of you, how to go about learning a lot of things in that process. So you need to have an able guide who can give you guidance about all these things in a proper way. That is possible when you look at a professor, the profile of a professor, you go and meet them, you try to understand what they are doing. Majorly, the students who are working under them, whether PhD students, master students, they are also available for you. They can also discuss with you, and they would help you understand all these various concepts as a part of the internship. At the end, what happens is when you are learning these things, you are not just developing your understanding of the concepts which you have learned in the lecture hall. You are rather much stronger, much more confident to apply those concepts. At the same time, you are becoming confident about your own self. And now the decision making also is much more important, something which will come naturally to you after this. And it will open up your vision. It will broaden your horizon. It will allow you to think more openly about your career. ask yourself a question that if you have done nothing at this moment, you have just gone to the lecture hall, learned everything, you are definitely confused about what to do next. When it comes to the second, third, and sometimes even the fourth year, students are confused exactly how to approach the future of your career. Whether you'll be able to take up masters, whether you want to go for PhD, whether you should do a job, what are you supposed to do? That clarity is not there. And then you are always asking questions. When you're doing internship, and internships, again, I'm going to tell you, are of different kinds. So when you start working in that direction, your horizon and your vision is much more developed, and you can take decisions which are going to be helpful for you for your future. How to go about doing this? Can you go to the next slide? Thank you. So what are the various benefits to the students? We also learned one thing, that whatever concepts you have learned will be understood very well. But is that it? No, it is not like that. Many times we are introverts, and that you have to ask yourself a question, that we commonly are introverts. I was a big introvert when I was in a bachelor's, in Ruya College. I was not able to speak to people very confidently. But then if I was exposed to such type of internships, probably I would have been more confident, not just in discussion, but even in explanation of any concepts, even for that matter, whatever you are learning in the class and otherwise. So you start participating with people around you, those students who are there around you, who are working towards PhD, masters, whatever they are doing, as well as the overall community in the university. You start interacting with them more confidently. You slowly start becoming more extrovert. So that is one of the biggest benefits you are going to get, that when you're starting to do something which you like, you see that the internship is really giving you a lot of confidence. That confidence will also brush upon your discussions, your interactions. Next thing is, you want to engage in the practice of your discipline. That means now an area which you have started working in, you want to start contributing to that. You want to try to understand how the reactions which you have done, the concepts which you have developed, how will be useful for the chemistry or chemical engineering or technology subjects, and what new knowledge you are adding to that area. So it also increases your confidence. It starts giving you this acceleration that you are trying to develop something which might not be known in literature, might not be known in this world, something totally new. And your name will be there, first of all. If you develop that concept, some reactions, people are going to talk about you, not just in the lab, but otherwise if it gets published. So that is it gives you a lot of confidence, a lot of interest to start working more confidently and continue doing a lot of hard work. You are creating knowledge. So creating knowledge is when you go to the lab, when you try to understand why this concept was developed and how would you change it, how would you try to come out with something which is new. You will be helped in all this process. See, these questions will come to you always, that why should I do it, first of all? Why should I even do these reactions? So then the answer will come that, okay, if you do this reaction, maybe this problem which was there in literature, which you might be learning even in your class, you have tried to solve it. So that is creation of new knowledge. So you are again trying to be not a student, but you are trying to become more like a teacher. That doesn't mean that you are a teacher, but you are teaching yourself into developing new knowledge, which might be helpful not just for you, for others as well. So this becomes a novelty part, new thing which you have tried to develop. And you can always boast about in front of your friends. In the groups, you can go and say that, oh, I've developed something, it is going to get published. So it's a lot of excitement. You get likes on Facebook as well as Twitter. I'm sure you are using that, every one of you. So all these things are part and parcel when you're doing an internship. It definitely helps in complementing your coursework, because you're not going way away from your science. You commonly would try to go into an internship project or something which has some similarities to what you're learning in the class. That is commonly seen. Some people want to explore it totally differently. It's perfectly fine. But in general cases, students like to go into an area which is very close to what they are learning. Naturally, it will simply enhance what you have learned in the class. It will strengthen your understanding, make you more confident. Next time when some lectures are going on, you can suggest your own examples as the way we would do it in the class. So that also is something which really is fascinating for many students. Now here is the part which becomes more important, that once you have done all these internships, whether you do 1, 2, 3, 4, what your focus is, whether I want to go as an apper, whether I want to go as a jobber, which is commonly not there till the end of third year. When the fourth year comes, you're simply asked whether you want to be a jobber, whether you want to be an apper. The first thing which is being told to you, if you're a jobber, you cannot go to apper. You might not get the recommendations. So there is confusion in most of the students that how am I going to approach my future, whether as an apper or a jobber, and you don't know about it. Many times people take the option of jobber because they might not be very comfortable of going for, let's say, PhD or master's program abroad because they have not explored it at all. But some people are very confident. They say, no, I've decided in the second year itself that I have to go for apper because I've done this internship. I know this is very exciting for me. I would like to explore it further. Well, some people would say, no, this is probably not my cup of tea. I would be a fantastic jobber. I would love to go earn some money. But there as well, you can do internship in a company and try to understand that environment, which might be exciting for you. So here you become more confident into deciding your future. Then there will not be a confusion of jobber and apper. You are confidently saying you want to be an apper or you want to be a jobber. So same thing happens with career exploration, that you will be able to explore things not just related to your area. Many times we are stuck with any type of chemistry we do, any type of chemical engineering concepts we learn, and we feel that there is nothing more than this. But you are always hearing something from your teachers, from your friends, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary. And these concepts or these words many times mean nothing for people. They feel that there is, it's all hocus pocus. What is multidisciplinary? But I can tell you one thing, that when you go on to explore these areas, when you think about going for internships, the one thing which happens is you are exposing yourself to a wide variety of areas, which are starting mainly from your stream only. For example, there is a professor, Samir Mitra Gotri. He's our alumni. He is in Harvard. So he has very strong chemistry concepts. He's a chemical engineer, but he works on chemical biology or biology concepts. He's developing, various apps as well as various models which will allow virus detection or protein detection. Now, how would a chemical engineer go into chemical biology or try to explore biochemistry? You learn small amount of it probably during your, or even biotechnology for that matter, during your whole bachelor syllabus. But unless until you have seen it, explored it yourself, tried to do it yourself, you would not be able to understand whether that is a good idea for you to jump into or not. And some people do that. And there is a lot of success. There's a lot of things which you can explore. So this is career exploration, again, is dependent on you at this stage when you are in the bachelor's. The right stage would be from first year onwards. When you complete the first year, start with the second year and you start thinking about your future. This is a right way forward of doing certain internships. What do you develop as a person? And these are the various points I would suggest. These something which you really have to keep in mind. First is timing. If you don't start things on time, if you don't reply to people on time, if you are not able to do things on time, what happens? Many times, professors are going to give, they are going to come back to you. They might deduct your marks. They might detain you. In home, bigger problems. You're not learning properly on time. You're not eating properly on time. Patka milta hai. So all these issues can be taken care of when you become time bound. You start understanding that time is very, very critical, very, very important for you. You can easily relax, you can easily spend a lot of time, but once time is out of your hand, nothing can be done. So your time, whatever is there right now, if you start exploring things in the right way, within few months, you will be confident enough to take care of things without any issue. So timing is very important. Discipline, which is part of the same, that whatever you do, you will be more independent now. Start with the basic thing when you get up. I'm sure most of you do not even take care of your bed. That has to be done by your parents. Some of you must be doing it. So if you want to be becoming self-sufficient, you want to show that I can do things in my own way. You have to be more supportive to towards your family, towards your friends. Then that discipline of putting things, doing things as and when it comes, more confidently, more efficiently, that discipline also will be imbibed into you as you start doing internship. If you are not creative, definitely you will become more creative. It will give you a lot of ideas. It will allow you to explore things in a more different way. And that is very, very important, because scientific understanding from a book can only help you get a simple job. But once you are into a job or a PhD, you will have to work hard into getting things done on your own. That's where creativity becomes very, very important. You need to be creative to understand things in a proper way. It also drives your curiosity. It will also allow you to explore things in a slightly different way than what you're doing. How it helps, creativity and curiosity, how it helps is, let's say you're now part of this vortex, part of all these various programs. It will change your mindset into coming out with some new ideas. If you have such new ideas, also I would like to ask you to be a part of Bombay Technologist, because that requires a lot of ideas, and our team has been working beautifully. They are highly creative. Rather, this program, which was not existing for several years, now we are here. Even after a pandemic, we are trying to interact with you all. So this type of creativity will always help you develop something new, which is helpful not just for you, but for others. Definitely the focus will improve. You are writing reports. Very, very important. I am not an adjudicator of saying that English is the only language and you have to be well versed with English. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. हिंदी में बोलो, मराठी में बोलो, कौन से भी लैंग्वेज में बोलो, आपकी भाषा, बात करने का तरीका, that should be convincing. You can switch from English to Marathi, English to Hindi, English to whatever language you want, but you should be confident in doing that. And how would you do that unless until you are exercising it every day and every night? So when you're writing, when you're doing projects, when you're working on internships, the one thing which is going to happen, your verbal communication, your written communication, this is going to improve drastically, because you are not writing only to your friends. You're writing it to PhD students, you're writing it to professors, sometimes even to outsiders. And you are exploring those words more critically. So over a period of time, you will be so well versed with your word selection that people are going to take notice about what you have written. So that is very, very important. The way you present yourself, the way you present your work. Now you can look at the slides. I'm not suggesting that my slides are good, but over a period of time, I've learned how to be concise, how to be point-wise. You can elaborate on these points. You don't have to be writing everything here unless until it's really required. But these things slowly, slowly you start developing over a period of time when you work under such type of internship positions or otherwise. And lastly, most important, you start respecting people, because you are not alone. You never work alone in any internship. You're always guided by PhD students, master students, even the technicians and the professors. It's always a team effort. And that is creating a mindset in your, it creates a mindset that I'm me, the words which are there, me, myself, I, they will vanish. We always say we. So it is we who are going to go ahead. So this team building exercise, this contribution by others, we start respecting that, which is very important. Let's say you go for PhD abroad. you go for PhD in any of the top institutions, you might become a manager, you want to go into a job, it will always be a team under you, or you will be a part of the team. If you are alone, many times you will be kicked out. It will cause problems for you. So internships puts all these various points into you, and I'm sure that it will be very helpful for you. Next slide, please. What are the benefits to the professor? So I have told from your point of view, but just also understand from the professor point of view. When you as a student go in as an undergraduate, as a master's first year, master's second year, whoever, as an internship student, when you go and work with the professor, don't think that you are the only beneficiary. Even the professor benefits, even the group benefits. Why? Because generally speaking, we are interested in developing the new generation. So when you as a student comes in, I would like to invite the best of the best knowledge, understanding, skills into you. Because first, to be honest, you are from India, you are an Indian. Next thing is you are the next generation of scientists who are going to be developed. So if I make you passionate about your science, the work we are doing, it will allow you to also explore the same thing in your future. So it is a commitment that we are trying to do as a professor to the next generation. We also get two pair of hands which are hardworking, and that is always a welcome sight for any professor, any group, that extra students coming in, whatever time they can spending, but if they can put a lot of efforts, put a lot of hard work, then that extra amount of information which can be obtained by the professor is very, very helpful. You are energetic, I would expect that. And that energy is very, very critical, because when you come into the lab, if you are very dull, you're not doing much, what happens is it also pulls the group down. So commonly what will happen in such a case, most probably the group is going to put you out. But if you are really energetic, putting a lot of efforts, it simply changes the dynamics of the group. Even people who might be slightly slow, they might get excited because of your chirpiness, your energy, the way you discuss things. So people are very happy to take such type of students. Curiosity, as we have already discussed, that is again a very important point. There is a fresh perspective. Why? You have a brain which is commonly not being directly used. That means we are already using our brain to such an extent that we sometimes get frustrated because it's like overflow of information. But think about it, that you are working for the first time, so you'll be so curious. You are thinking from every point of view, what is happening, why this is happening. You have so many questions in your mind. These questions are very important when it comes to research development, for the driving of research many times. So if you are asking the right questions, what happens and how it helps the group is to come out with answers to these curious questions. So you are not just a student who is going to work and go away. If you are curious, you put a lot of questions in front of people, that is going to be very, very helpful for the students, the PhD students, and for the driving of the science. So think in that direction, that you are contributors towards the future science which is going to happen. So that fresh perspective, the curiosity is very, very important. Yeah, this is one very, very important point. Willing to do boring but necessary work. Yeah, many times simple science will be, simple chemistry will be given to you, simple work will be given to you. And you might think that this is not really exciting. You know, most others are doing something really hi-fi and you are doing something simple. But try to understand one thing, nothing is simple. If you take that as a very boring job and you do a very boring work, you will not learn something. But if you take it as a challenge and work on it, put your hard work, put your efforts, and try to give some results. Although it is a boring job, maybe not many of the students would like to go on to this, but a new concept might develop from it. And you might be, it might be something which a professor will be able to exploit it for some really important contribution. It can even contribute towards formation of like a publication, and you might also be a part of that publication. So don't treat anything which looks simple, which looks boring, as not important. Take up a challenge of doing things your way, take it up in such a way that your contribution in some way or another is going to be helpful for the development of science. And I am confident if you do this, there will be a publication, there will be something with your name on, and then the excitement is very high. Naturally, the professor also uses this extra information which you have generated for securing grants. That would happen that if he or she is really excited about you as a intern, you might get an opportunity to work with that person next year as well, and probably for your future as a master's or a PhD student. So it opens up a lot of opportunities for you. And that happens many times. I have so many examples in front of me of those students who have gone for internship, that they have gone back to become PhDs in the same universities, even Harvard, that for that matter. So I'll give you those examples at a later stage. Next slide, please. Now, these are very important slides. Be very attentive here. So we have completed kind of the first half an hour into understanding why internship. The next half an hour, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss about the type of internships, what are the various internships which are available in India, what are the various fellowships which are available in India, what are the various fellowships and internships available abroad. And I have categorized this type of research internships into 3 types. The first type is the research-based academic internships. So if someone is an apper, or someone thinks that he or she wants to become an apper, wants to go for a MS or a PhD program, this is rather the part which is going to be very important. And how am I going to divide this is you can have like different departments in ICT itself. ICT itself is a very good research institute. Now you have 2 more campuses, and there are also scientists who are available in Jalna as well as Bhubaneswar. So you have so many number of scientists which are available who are having their own laboratories. And there you can also work in the same departments where you are already doing your bachelor's or master's. Next is you can go to various academic institutions in India, such as IITs, IISers, IISc Bangalore, and various others. Or you can choose to go abroad, like MIT, Caltech, Harvard. I'm trying to put big names here, but I can confidently say that you can do it unless until you are confident. And how we can do it, I'll talk about it later. Next part is if you want to be a jobber, let's say sometimes we have financial constraints and we feel that best is not to go for PhD or MS, best to go for a job. So there are options in pharmaceutical industries, chemical industries, in R&Ds of these industries, or you can look at production section. You can even look at the analytical section of these companies, and you will be able to take up internships in these companies, which will help you become more focused, try to understand the environment of these companies, how the chemical, pharmaceutical, even the oil industries, IOCL and others, how they would be helpful for you in the future if you want to become a jobber. Finally, some of you, I am sure that they would like to jump up to become more of managers of various companies, and they are MBA aspirants. Can you please stop this part?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. If there is anyone who is keeping their mobile open and then all these, if you are not interested, you can simply leave. I don't like this type of disturbances. Okay. So if this, is he from our institute? Where is he from?
No, sir, the email ID was not from ICT.
Then he should be removed.
Yes, sir. So I will share the slides now.
If they want to continue, then they should keep it quiet. It is not for disturbing people. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. Can you put up the presentation again? Sorry for the disturbance suddenly in between. Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah. So here, company internships, we are going to discuss about this is how this is going to be useful, how you can approach that. And finally, as I said, if you want to go for IIMs as MBA aspirants, then you can even think about taking up financial or accountancy type of internships. And that, how would we do that? What are the options? That also we'll discuss. Next point. Next slide. So let's take the first category, which is research-based academic internships. This will be useful mainly for appers, whoever decide to be an apper. Maybe after this presentation, you might think about becoming an apper. But so those students who have done an internship can get a better idea about what their future is, and then what is available for you in India, first of all. The first thing is for those who have completed the first year, so second year onwards, there's a very, very prestigious fellowship which is called as Indian Academy of Sciences Fellowship, or also called as IS Fellowship. This is mainly for those students from engineering and science who have completed second year. Even for masters as well, first year masters can apply for IS. This is very prestigious. It allows you, you have to submit an application to Indian Academy of Sciences. And if you're able to get this fellowship, you will be placed in some of the most prestigious institutes like IISc Bangalore, JNCSR, IICT Hyderabad, IITs, and you also get fellowships. You get scholarship amount, and you are working under some of the best professors. What I have seen over the years is students who have been able to get the IIS fellowships, they have been able to work in these various institutes. And because you're working for 2 hardcore months, many times these students have gone on to even publish very high impact paper. So that becomes a major part of your future, that once you get this paper, or once you get a very good quality internship under your belt, where you are able to visualize the science which is going on around you, the cutting edge science which is going on, and you yourself are able to contribute towards that science, it is rather more exhilarating, it is more exciting for you to do more. And I can assure you that when the first time when someone gets IS, next time they always look at getting international fellowships, and they would like to go abroad in various institutes. So I would encourage you, whoever is now completing the second year, check out the websites. I think this is the right time. Around the November, December time, this fellowship deadlines are there. Check out the website, submit your applications. You need recommendations from a professor from your institute. Please don't come all of you to me. That will be very difficult for you. But whoever has taught you, those professors can recommend you for these type of fellowships. Okay, I would suggest those from Jalna and Bhubaneswar. Probably this will not be a good idea, because this is a summer fellowship and the timing is very defined. So if it starts from May 15, then it ends on July 15th. And this might conflict with your exams. However, you might look at other options, but definitely IS fellowships from Mumbai students, whoever wants to apply, where perfectly you have this 2-month holiday, kind of 2 months holiday, 1.5 months generally given by ICT. But if you have these 2 months, then you would definitely opt for IS fellowship as your top priority for getting a fellowship. Next, as I said, that you can explore ICT, because there are several departments, there are many scientists in ICT now that you have Jalna and Bhubaneswar, so the combined strength also has increased. So when you look at their profiles, for example, the first thing is I've given my website here. So along with ICT website, where some part of my information is there, this website will have a very, very clear idea about exactly what I do, how our group is performing, what all things are been going on, what type of research goes on. And many of my colleagues also would have their own websites. it is very easy. You are generally chatting on WhatsApp and various other platforms. So starting a website on Google doesn't take a lot of time. Even ICT website can be opened straight away. You can check out in the departments. Try to understand exactly what type of science a researcher, a scientist is doing in ICT itself, first of all. Once you are comfortable, this will be an internship which you might be able to take up during your semester if you are confident about your academics. I would not commonly recommend this, but sometimes students come to me and they ask whether, if they are good in the academics, if they feel that they are able to pass the exam, they will be able to do things. I recommend them even from the first year. Literally, I'm telling you, from the first year itself of chemical engineering or BTech, there are some first year students here as well. They can also confirm during the lecture. I've told this, that if you are confident that you can pass the exam, you don't have any problems with securing very high scores, but you will be able to do it without any issue and still take up an internship. ICT would be the best option to start off with, because your category of science, the type of research which is suitable for your type of work, what you are learning, chemical engineering, BTech, it is already available. So if you first understand from the website what research opportunities are there, what type of science is going on in that field, and who are the scientists, you can always go to their labs, talk to their research students, befriend them, give a cup of tea to them, let's say, or an ice cream, maybe, I don't know. And just ask them exactly what type of science is going on, whether there will be an opportunity for you to do something in the lab. And you will be surprised that it is very rarely that people would say no unless until the space is not there or there's not much opportunity in that lab. But many times, as I said, professors are also happy if an extra pair of hands come into the lab, excited to do some science. So your best option during the semester, if you want to go and explore ICT, please do that. Next thing is during summers, because during semester, very difficult for you to just roam around into various institutes. Although this is also done, IIT Bombay is very close, TIFR is very close, PRC is very close. So some very, very confident soul, if he is there, he or she is there, they would like to explore the opportunity of going for internship even during semester. Now the situation is a bit different because now the pandemic is going on. But I mean, I'm talking from the general point of view. However, 90-95% students would like to explore all these institutes during summers, because then you can get proper 2 months of experience, 2 months of exposure. What is available is on all the websites of these IITs, ISERs, Bangalore, even ICT, not ICT much, but all these websites, you have a portal or a web page where summer internship opportunities are generally portrayed. Commonly, these are through application. You have to formally apply to these summer internship programs. And they are commonly kept for not first yearites, but they start from the second years. Okay, so if you go onto any website, for example, I've given some of these. If you go to ISER Pune, as the summer training internship which is there, you can have ISER Bhopal, you can have IIT Madras, you can have ISC Bangalore. All of these have specific summer research programs, internship programs. You have to apply to these programs and then you get placed in those specific institutes. Having said that, this is not the list. This is not the complete list. You can go on to every IIT website. Most of the IITs have summer internship programs which are available. And the specific idea is after first year, once you have understood something, from the second year onwards, you can apply for this as a summer intern. You get fellowship and you also get accommodation on campus. So try to explore these beautiful areas such as IIT Mandi, IIT Roorkee. So along with your internship, if you have the opportunity of going for trekking as well, if someone is interested, these are beautiful places. If you want to do hardcore research, IIT Bombay is brilliant rather. You can do a lot of work. IIT Madras is doing very well. So these are the various options which are directly available for you just at a click. Check out the website, go onto the application form, submit the application form. Probably what you require is a recommendation from a professor. So I will be more than happy to recommend you, but again, I have restrictions of how many I can recommend, because if 10 people are submitting to the same university, only one fellow is going to get from ICT. So make sure that you also have some discussion amongst yourself, that not all of you go to the same institute. You would not end up there as such. But it is early bird catches the worm. That is one of the ideology, that if you are confident and if you take the first opportunity, that would really help you. It is also important that when you are coming to me or to any professor for taking a signature, you would try to be as early as possible to do that, because at the end of the day, if I've already given recommendations to 10 to 20 people, I might not be able to give more. And that you have to explore from every professor as well. Next one. Now comes a very important point, that if you look at IS fellowship, highly competitive. ICT definitely have a very good chance. And then again, the summer internship programs are very, very competitive. But there is a direct mode. Rather than going for these, or maybe you can apply to these things and check out your, check whether you are able to get it. But why to take a chance when thousands of professors and scientists are already available in all these various institutes around India? So why not explore the opportunity of applying directly to them? And how to do that, I'm going to discuss a bit about that. As I said, for ICT, that there are all these institutes have very high quality updated websites. Every department, whichever you explore, chemistry, chemical engineering, various other technology departments, when you go onto the website, you will have profiles of all these professors. You must have learned certain concepts during your bachelor's, first year, second year, whenever. There will always be some fascination about some area in your mind. Understand one thing, I didn't say that, but IS fellowship, as well as other fellowships which are there, for example, this summer internship program, you are directly allotted to the professor. So it is not your choice to see that maybe I would end up with this professor, because at the end of the day, it is like a lottery. So many times you would end up in a very multidisciplinary area. Some people like it, some people don't like it, majority like it, but some people might feel that it is too much for them. However, in this case, the direct mode, it is straightforward. We have explored this with students many, many times. Rather, I have so many examples. I can even name those students who have done this mode. And how is it that you check out the website, check the area of interest which people are working on, and there is some close proximity to the work which you want to do, or something which is there in your mind, and you would like to explore it to a large extent in an internship program, you can simply apply to this, such type of professors directly. What you need to write in that email, everything I'll be giving you later on, don't worry. But that will be the direct mode that you can apply to professors. If the institute is in the vicinity, let's say IIT Bombay, BRC, TIFRs, they are very close to you when you are in Mumbai. While for Bhubaneswar, you have IIT Bhubaneswar, you have several other institutes which are there, you have the University of Odisha, let's say, all these universities, all these institutes which are very close to your house, very close to where you stay. Is there a possibility that you can simply go and visit those departments, those professors, or their laboratories? When you go there, for example, our students definitely, Mumbai students, they go to IIT Bombay, and I always tell them during the lecture that why don't you take a trip? There are some nice crocodiles in that, Powai Lake, and why don't you go and count them? I'm sure that they would not do that, but when you go to this institutes, when you see their environments, see their campus, you would like to explore that campus, and slowly you would end up in various departments. And when you go to that department, students are already working in those labs. Same thing as what you did for ICT. If you go and talk to those professors or those students, you get some information that there might be a possibility of you getting an internship position. They would direct you to the professor. You have an understanding of what is happening in the lab. They might take an interview for you as well, formal interview. And based on your understanding of the concept, based on what you want to do, your ideas about internship, they would definitely give you an opportunity to work in the lab for a few months, few weeks, whatever. This can happen because it's in close proximity. It can happen during the semester if you are confident. And it can definitely happen during summer vacation. So that this all things dependent on you, how you take this opportunity and how fast you get something so explore your future. Writing an email is the best option, that if you simply write an email to that professor, conveying the interest, but first of all, check the website and try to understand what that professor is really doing. Please do not write something for a professor, the type of work he has done, to another professor when you are emailing, because many times we do copy and paste. If you do that, neither options will be there with you. So be very specific when you are emailing professors about their work only, what they are doing, nothing else. And that way they would then understand whether you are the suitable candidate or not, and they would give you the opportunity. This is the direct mode. I'm sure it will be helpful for you. I can answer some questions if you have at a later stage. But let's go ahead. In the world now, we have seen from the Indian point of view, you have several of these fellowships and opportunities. From the world point of view, what is available? And one of the major fellowships which ICT students have really used it very nicely is the MITAX fellowship. So it's also called as a MITAX Global Link Research Internship. I still know right now the students from Bhubaneswar, some of them are exploring this opportunity of applying for MITAX. Mumbai people are always doing that. And this is a very prestigious fellowship. Again, this is specifically for applying to universities in Canada. Okay. And these are students coming from India, China, Brazil, as well as Mexico. All these details are given on the website as well. So you have 12 weeks internship. So you can imagine that you can start in May 15th. If you start, then you have kind of 2 to 3 months that you can do it. This is one issue which is there, that if you start in May, commonly the institute starts around the first week of July. So we have 1.5 months, but nothing much starts after that, 15 days here and there. So 2 months as such is kind of students can use for internships. But when it comes to the 3rd month, you have to take a specific, like letter from the head of department. You will have to approach them. If it becomes mandatory for you to stay for 3 months. And MITAX definitely requires you to stay for 3 months. So you'll have to take some prior permission from the head of department so as to allow you to go for these type of fellowships. But it's a very prestigious fellowship. You can see the minimum GPA generally required is about 8 or above. So you have to make sure that your scores and everything are optimum. All other things I don't have to talk about it. Fees and everything, accommodations, everything, the money is given to you. So it's Canadian dollars. You can see that it's a very prestigious, lot of money is given to you. You simply do not have to worry, and the experience what you get is fantastic. So many students have already applied for this fellowship. Please explore this website. I can share this presentation with all of you. So just check out these websites, and this will be very helpful for you. Try to understand, because now even you can see deadline November or early December. That means it's already there. I know that students are applying. So there is an opportunity for you to also apply at the same time. Next one, please. This is rather unfortunate. This is again a highly prestigious fellowship. This is called as a DAD Vice Program or Vice Fellowship. This is specifically for Indians and other other students from various other countries. This program would allow you to explore internship opportunities in Germany and some cutting-edge research institutes in Germany. Unfortunately for ICT, this DAD Vice program allows various institutes to collaborate with DAD India. And we were there till 2015 or 2014. But then there was no activity which was going on from ICT. And unfortunately, this was stopped for ICT. But if you look at DAD Wise program and the institutes which are available from India, all the IITs, NITs, many institutes, ISERs, they're already part of DAD Wise program, and a direct entry of students can take place for institutes in Germany. I'm trying to contact these people from DAD India. I've already made a contact few years back. I'm going to initiate this contact again. And if possible, I would love to make it more official from ICT point of view to have at least few students going to Germany every year as a part of this program. So let's hope that things work out well for us. Similarly, another program which has been explored very efficiently by students, slightly less in ICT, but most others, they do that from other institutes. That is a Chirpuk Lab Scholarship Program, which allows you to go to institutes or universities in France. I do not want to elaborate much on this because all the details are there. It's mainly for all the undergraduate masters students who can apply. You generally get into how you want to apply to these institutes is you'll have to first contact the professors, as what I have said from the student's point of view, when you are exploring the various professors. So when you have to apply for this program, you need to first have someone as a professor confirming that he or she is interested in having you as a part of their group. We just need confirmation, and then they might ask you to write some small research project or something, which is again not a big thing. That is always done in collaboration with the professor, and then you apply for these type of fellowships. Even DAD Wise fellowship is the same. The professor has to be confirmed, and then in collaboration you write a small project of 2-3 pages, and when you submit it, you possibly, in most cases, you get the fellowship. So this is a very, very prestigious programs. This will increase your capacity of your CV and the future opportunities what you want to get for doing PhD, masters, and others. This is one website which probably I will ask my students, my BT secretaries to share it with you. This is called as a 30 foreign internship program. If you just type in on Google as well, you will get it. All these programs with the details, their websites, everything is nicely written. You can go on to these websites, you can check out the various opportunities, what are the criteria which have been set, what is the deadline, what all things you need to provide. For example, you want to provide a recommendation letter, then you need to start getting all the things together at the earliest. So I'm sure that this will be helpful for those who are appers. Next one, please. With respect to APA, the last part I want to suggest is about direct applications to faculties. So from international point of view, but now I'll combine both India and international in this way. Again, same thing, you have to go to the websites, check out the interest of the work which has been going on with these professors. Write an email to them with your interest, your CV, which is a concise CV. It should not be a very lengthy CV. 1 page is enough. Be very short with respect to your discussion. And then they might do one thing. They might ask you to take an interview. Most of the American scientists, American universities, they have this procedure that the professors generally call you and they will ask you for an interview. And after the interview, they will then confirm whether you will be part of the program or not. And that depends on naturally your fundamentals, how strong you are with that, what all understanding you have about other science, whatever is going on around you. If you have some other internship experience before applying to American or European universities, that is a big plus, because then they would assess which institute you have done in, what type of internship you have done in, and plus the fact that you will get a good recommendation from some of the professors which are there in India. And that would, for sure, it will help you. Now I come to a very, very important point. I think this is what you all must be waiting for as well. What are you supposed to write in an email? So if you want to write an email to a professor, can you say, hello, how are you? How are things going on? Are you enjoying your life? Nothing like that. This is not a friend. This is a professor. He's a highly professional fellow. They are trying to do a lot of things. They are very busy people. They might be getting hundreds of emails every day. How are you going to be that special person whose email is going to be opened by these professors and would say that, oh, looks like a very good candidate. I think you should be coming to us for internship. So this is not easy. Many students come to me and suggest that I have sent 100 emails and have not got any response. Many times the problem is the emails are kind of the same as writing to your friend or slightly more formal. But I have tried to give you points of what all things you need to highlight in your email so that if it has to be recognized or it has to be read by professor, many times internationally, the professors have secretaries. So your professor might not be even in the position to read your emails. So the secretary will just chunk it out. Talk about the subject. Internship required. Now, this is something which will put anyone off. Someone will say internship required. Okay, I've got this 100 times. No, chunk out. Think about a catchy subject. Think about the work they are doing. And from that, can you come out with something which is exciting? Let's say, for example, I am working on nucleoside development. So can you write as a subject that interested or internship in nucleoside modification or fluorescent nucleoside development? So internship is there, but now you are being very specific about the area that professor is working on. At least that catchiness is there. At least people are going to see, hey, that this person has at least pushed efforts to go to the website and check out what is happening about the science in the group. So be very careful about the type of subject you are talking about, because that's the first thing which is visible to anyone. And if that is very lame and very simple, they will chuck it out. They will not even see that email. You should not write lots of things about yourself. It should not be an essay. When required an essay in the exam, you might not write it, but here you please do not write an essay. So you do not go on explaining that, oh, I was like this, I did this, and I was such a great guy, and I was doing this, and I was amazing, and blah, blah, blah. No, nothing like that. Up to the point, exactly what you want, what you have achieved. In point wise, you can also give details that, okay, I have done this, I have done some extracurricular, I've done 1 or 2 internships. This is the details about the internship. The professor can be happy even to give the recommendation, all these things. Something specific to the topic you are talking about, nothing other than that. Don't be elaborate about even the science which the professor is talking about, because that will put them off. They know their science. So you don't have to explore it in your own way again and tell them. If you want to write about their science, then just be very concise. Within 1 or 2 sentences, just explain in your words exactly what are you understood about their science. If you have prior internship position, make sure you are highlighting it, make it bold, give details about it in again few words or few sentences. Okay, don't elaborate it a lot, but be very, very concise in that part as well. But that is very important. Make sure internship, if it's already done, you have to make it bold. Details about your skills developed. Let's say some people are working on instruments. Some people have developed some very important reaction synthesis schemes. If it comes to chemical engineering, some very important concepts you have learned. Please highlight those, because that is going to be something which a professor is going to look at. Your academic performance, give some details. What is your CGPA? Subject which you are trying to apply for, specify that subject. If you have got 80%, 90% in organic chemistry or chemical engineering, you have got that much, highlight that. If you have got 60, 65%, no problem. Don't be afraid to tell about your scores. Less scores doesn't mean that you are not a good student. Let them decide that. But please try to write it very concisely and in a proper way, that this is my score, this is what I've done. Then a very short description about yourself and the professor. So short description about yourself would be not about what you did during your undergraduate or during your schooling, you're part of some drama or something, nothing like that. Be specific, how confident you are as a person, what you want to achieve from this. And then also talk about the same from the professor's point of view, that what type of science they are doing and how fascinating it is for you. talk about the benefits of the internship for your future. That means what you would get from this internship, what you visualize from this internship, and what you are thinking about yourself for future. Have one or two words or a sentence or so on this part. Also request, if it is an international fellowship, an international internship, unless until you're applying for fellowship, if you are supposed to go directly to a professor in America, Europe, anywhere, if you are happy to pay on your own, which is very expensive, then no problem. Make that as a point as well, that if you are willing to pay on your own, first ask your parents for sure. Otherwise, you cannot take decisions on your own. But if it is possible, then in that case, be even specific to that point that yes, I'll be more than happy to take care of my subsistence, accommodation, everything. So I have no issues with that. Germany, for example, they don't allow it. If you don't have any internal fellowships or funds available from the professor, they don't allow even to get the like a visa unless until it is written on the letter that the student will be provided with some fellowship as a part of the internship. If you are paying on your own, they will not allow. They're very strict as such, because I've seen some students and they have not been allowed that way. But America is not the case. It's slightly different. Just one sec. So be specific about these things. And if you don't have funds, if you are not able to pay money, then at the start itself, ask and request for stipend. Suggest that you will not be able to pay much or absolutely nothing, and your accommodation, your subsistence, your food, and everything should be taken care of by the stipend which is provided by the professor. This is very important because many times professors would be happy to give you the internship, but when this question comes that you are not able to get the money on your own, then it is very difficult to sustain, and possibly that fellowship, then the possibility of getting the internship dwindles away. It will not be possible. And so these are points which you please keep in mind, because they are very specific points. The final point, I suppose that becomes much more important, because I have heard from all my colleagues, even India and abroad, that when the email comes, when the student is describing himself or herself, it is in very poor shape. The grammar, the spellings are numerous. And that really puts people off. They would love to only correct your email rather than replying back to you. And many times you might even get a very harsh reply that, what is this? What type of things have you written? I'm not able to understand anything. So nowadays, a lot of things which are available, you can have Grammarly. For example, it's freely available. If you check on your emails as well, when you're writing an email, if you download Grammarly and attach it to Gmail or whatever, whenever you are writing, wherever there is any grammar change or any spelling has been mistaken, it corrects you. Please use these things. If you are not able to, I would always generally say that best is to correct it yourself by reading it. Read your email once, and you would be able to correct all these mistakes properly. If you are confident, good. If you're not confident, just ask one of your friend, anyone from your family, just have a look and make sure that it is in proper shape. Next one. Finally, this will be a very short one, because this will be more onto the student. ICT can provide some information, I can provide some information, but generally it's the student. So I'll be very brief here. Research-based company internship, let's say from R&D point of view, production point of view, analytical point of view. If you are a jobber, then the one great thing is you can directly go to University Alumni Association. We have an amazing number of alumnus who are there in companies or on top positions who are doing very well. You also can get contacts about those who have just joined companies last year, maybe several years back. They would definitely help you into getting internships in the various pharma and chemical industries. Next important point is your own family. For example, many times our families have contacts in companies. Your father might have some friends in companies. Please talk to them. That would allow you to get into companies in their setup in all these areas or many other areas. And then you plan it accordingly again during the summer vacation so that you get a first-hand understanding of exactly how the companies work. That would also change your mindset about whether the environment suits you, whether you're comfortable with it, and whether you want to go there. The one good thing will be before you go for a job, for an interview after your bachelor's, you're already having 1 or 2 internships in a company done. And you can always talk about experience during the interview, and you will be a preferred choice over others. You can directly email the HRs. HR numbers are commonly given on the websites. So you can email the HRs and then you can ask whether there is an opportunity available for interns. Some of the companies do have opportunities. You can explore those. Some companies, for example, BSF, not India, but Germany, they have a summer internship program. I've just given this link. If you check out that link, there is a procedure that you have to follow. You have to apply through that. You need some professor who can recommend you, and that will give you an opportunity to go to Ludwigshafen, which is one of the biggest chemical company plant in the world. Rather, BSF is absolutely stunning that way. So if you get that opportunity, nothing like it. But then India also has IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation. People in Bhubaneswar are very lucky because that institute itself is being constituted along with IOC. And some of my students who are there in Bhubaneswar, they are more lucky because some of them have got into these refineries, which we have highlighted here. So you can, as a student from Mumbai, you can apply, or even Jalna, and anyone can rather apply for training cum internship program. And this procedure has been given that you have to apply through the college to the DGM of any of these refineries which have been given here. And then depending on the possibility of having the internship positions available, they will contact you and you might be placed in any of these places. So these are very good opportunities. You would understand the company setup, how to go about doing things, what all things you can learn, and that will help you for your future. And finally, you have the management-based company internship. Again, same question that ICT as such would not be able to directly give you something. But if you have some contacts, maybe even if you're talking to the alumnus of ICT, they would help you getting into the MBA type of or management type of internship. Very rare number of people go there, but definitely that is worth looking at. You can also explore, I have not written it here, but you can explore some organizations such as UN and few others that also students have done, that you can check out their websites, UN India, let's say, and several others, or various other non-profitable organizations. And you can do some work which has more managerial or finance type of experience if you can get during the summer. This will help you to develop an ideology for going for IIMs and others. So these examples are there. I don't have much time because we are already over by around 3 minutes. So I would like to close my presentation here. If you just go to the next slide. Oh, okay, fine. My next slide, I have not written it here, but my next slide was more of a saying that if you do not take any risk in life, then definitely there is no fun. And it's the same idea which many of these people who are entrepreneurs, they always talk about that if you want to become an entrepreneur, the first thing you have to understand is you'll have to take risk in your life. This is also a kind of a risk because when you go for internships, India, abroad, when you explore places which are not close to your family, close to your house, then you are exploring yourself first of all. And if you are able to do it properly with confidence, the future is immense. A lot of opportunities available for you and you can explore them as and when you go ahead. But if you want to stay home and you don't want to go ahead with internships, it's not a problem. My only concern would be that at the end of the 4th year or around the 4th year, if you are confident about your future by just going for academics, no issues at all, because then you have made up your mind. But at the fourth year, if you are confused about your future, that means you have not taken the right steps and the right decisions in the last few years for your future. And the only person to be blamed would always be you. No institute, no professor, no parents, no one else. So please try to understand your future, your life is all in your hand. We are always there to guide you, will support you with whatever you want. But coming ahead, talking to us, discussing with us, and then exploring your opportunities is something which you have to do it yourself. I'm sorry, but no one else can really help you there. So with that, I would like to thank again my BT team, my secretaries of organizing this. And I'm really, really happy to take any kind of questions you have, and I'll try to answer them as at the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is a question in the chat.
Yes. Where is the chat? Yeah. One second. Yeah. So Harsh is saying, sir, I was aiming for masters in Germany. So my question is that should I apply directly after my final year, or should I gain some experience and then apply for masters, or is there any way other than that for internships in Germany? I'm currently in my 5th semester. As I said, DAD is a direct way and a more formal way of applying for internship. But you can directly apply to professors. There is no problem as such. You can directly apply to professors for internship. Many times they would say that they would not have funds to support you. But if you see some big professors, some of them do have funding. It depends on how interested they are in your CV, whatever experience you have got here. If they are willing to have you as an intern, and if you are excited about your presence there, then they will generate the funds for you. And whatever months you are going to stay, I don't think there should be any major problem. As far as the question about masters is concerned, in Germany, um, funds again, if you are paying on your own for masters, is not an issue. But try to go for German language course. I think you must be knowing that we have in Mumbai there is Max Muller Bhavan. So Max Muller Bhavan allows you to learn German. Experience would definitely help you, at least a year of company experience or research experience, whatever you might think about. If you're doing, and side by side, if you're also learning German, what it does is it only enhances your possibility of getting a master's, and that can also go through DAD. If you want to go for master's through DAD, then German language course and some internship or some project work or some company experience, if you get it, that is rather given as a major priority. Same thing I would say from the PhD point of view. If someone wants to go for PhD to Germany for DAD, through DAD rather, then getting at least some experience, some research experience under their belt, maybe a publication if possible. If it's not, it's all right, but at least 1 year of experience is important. And when you apply, then there is a formal procedure which is there. You have to apply for the professor, but once you confirm, there is an interview which takes place in Delhi. They will call you to Delhi, and then they'll ask you the questions. Okay, and once you go through that interview, definitely you will get all these options available. Okay, then someone from Oils is asking that do the universities look at different skill sets for masters and PhD students? Not really. See, for example, MS in America and MS PhD in America, it doesn't matter. Means at the end of the day, they will look at overall what you have done. If you want to go for specifically PhD in other universities or other countries, that's where the skill set become very important. For example, masters, PhDs, that differentiation comes not in America, but everywhere else. Because MS or PhD is kind of the same in America. That means you either go for MS or you go for PhD. Even if you go for PhD, you have the opportunity that you can come out of that at the master's level. That means after 2 years, you can simply take an MS and you can leave. So they don't have the differentiation there as such. But definitely, I would suggest more experience you have, more skill set you have, you write it in that SOP. This will be helpful into getting into bigger, better universities. That is definitely there. Okay, Srivatsa Korde, so he's asking what the internships, higher studies scope in Japan. Well, interesting. Okay, very good. So Japan is highly competitive. Fellowships and internships are very rare and difficult. Reason being, internships in Japan as such is probably non-existing for international students, I would say, unless until it is from the company's point of view. There are few companies, I was not able to write it here, probably 1 or 2 companies only, Toyota and some others, who allow students to go to Japan for internships, but that is very rare. Scientific internship in universities is almost not possible, very difficult, because first is this language barrier itself. But after masters or PhD, when you go for postdoc, PhD postdoc is available because there is what is called as a JSPS fellowship, and that you can explore for masters and PhD. Okay, JSPS. Then there's one more question. So Dilshad is asking, due to the COVID, we might not get summer or winter vacation this academic year. So would it be advisable to apply for internship abroad at the expense of missing classes? And will we get leave from ICT if we choose to? Yes, this is one real problem. I don't think that is the case for second years and third years, because now things are going well. This is going perfectly in time. So the first years are going to suffer more. I'm sorry to say this, but the first years are going to suffer more because we are just starting with the first years. It's already being told that summers are not there for us. But the second years, third years, fourth years, they do not have to worry about this unless until we have the COVID vaccine, maybe in January, as what has been told. My feeling is the world will open up maybe around the summertime. Already students are going. Indians are smart guys. People are very smart. Indians still are going abroad. They're still going to America. They're still going to Europe. They're going to every place for PhD and everything. So it is not that Indians are not moving out. But yes, what you suggested, what you said is right. It's not easy. Still, there are a lot of questions which are there. But as far as second year, third years, fourth years are concerned, my feeling is it will not be a big problem for you to not get a vacation. You will definitely get a vacation. And today itself, we got the academic calendar. First years, unfortunately, will not have to a large extent. Or even if they have it, it will be very short. But that's all right. First years can explore it next year when everything is all right. Then Shubha Lakshmi is asking that I am currently in the third year of my bachelor's. Is it a good idea to go for a job initially and then go for research? Will there be a problem in getting recommendations after a gap? See, if you have good rapport with your professors, commonly there are a few professors who are generally very open and they would help you. If you go for a job as well, you do the job for like say 1 or 2 years and then you think about jumping up for PhD or whatever research program, I don't see that as a problem, because what was available for you to go for a job, you already taken it. You have done that. You have been able to take that opportunity. Then I don't see a problem of people not helping you out with a recommendation. So I'm sure that definitely will happen. Okay, but be in touch with those professors, whoever those are, who are supportive to you or at least have good contacts with you. Be in touch with them. Even upfront, also tell them about exactly what you feel, and I'm sure that it will happen. It will be helpful for you. Akash is asking if I want to write to a professor for internship, how many months before should I write his email? Now it depends. Again, the timing is very important. When you want to go, if it's abroad, if it's India, abroad, I would say at least 6 months of time is definitely required, because there are lots of things which are there. If you have to write a proposal, if you have to get some funding, the professor has to look for some money. Then there might be some other institutional formalities that you have to complete. Then you have to apply for visa. So internationally, if you want to go 6 months, if you want to go to any Indian university, I would say at least 2 to 3 months, because you might not get straight away. You might apply to one professor, but maybe you'll have to apply to several more. So at least 2 3 months before you are planning to go, before the summers, let's say at least from now onwards, from January onwards, if you start applying, emailing them, then possibly by March you should have one confirmation who you are comfortable with, and then that's it. You can simply go ahead and do your internship with that person. Rishabh is asking, can we apply for internships abroad during second year? What are the prerequisites for the same? Yeah, for sure. Even first years can apply for internships abroad. Means I know many of them. Abhigyan Rai, Manav Avlani, rather Omkar was a great, one of the greatest example I had was a student from IIT Roorkee. He was in a master's 5-year integrated program, and completion of the 5 years, he got around 8 fellowships, like 8 internships in 8 different countries. And I was the only Indian scientist in India, like in Mumbai, that he came and did internship, but all others were all Germany, America, Canada, New Zealand, and wherever, even England as well. So that literally changed the mindset. His CV was so powerful. Naturally, he had to end up in Harvard or Stanford's. But that was a commitment which that student did. And that was going through the IIT setup. But yes, first year, second year is not a big problem. Prerequisites, scores, definitely as commonly 8 above, you should maintain. If you have done some internship earlier, that is always helpful, because internship abroad requires you to at least have some confidence, something to show. Uh, Co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, you don't have to show it. And then how you write it, what is your idea about applying, what are your interests. So if that fascinates a person, if you are interested in writing a proposal, let's say for a project or something, and if your discussions and everything fascinates them, I'm sure they will give you an opportunity. Another question is, I found a lot of Chinese opting for PhD, but Indians prefer masters. Any specific reason? Asking out for curiosity. Okay. If you, most probably you people all don't know, but Chinese are funded by their government. There are Chinese fellowships which are given to Chinese students to go and do PhD anywhere in the world. And the idea is when they do their PhD and postdoc, when they come back to China, they are given hefty packages. The Chinese government is putting a lot of efforts. If you just check my boss's websites, he has more number of Chinese students as compared to Germans. And the simple reason is because the Chinese get their own fellowships, the professors are very happy to allow them to come and do PhD. While we cannot afford to, one reason we cannot afford ourselves, our government is not helping us. I'm not suggesting that they have to, but competitive opportunities, for example, if you want to go for DAD or other internships, that will not be available for everyone. That's why most of students take the second route, that they go to masters and then they opt for PhD depending on the opportunities available, funding and everything. That's why this is one of the biggest difference between Indian students and Chinese students, because there is a straight like a line, a path which has been created from the government of China itself, and it really helps them. And there are more future opportunities, few things which they are going to be useful for their career when they come back to China. That type of thing has not been initiated here in India yet. Amogra suggests, he's asking, I would like to know about the opportunity as an academician in premier institutes in India after doctorate program from abroad. Yes, there are opportunities for sure. First of all, when you are abroad, depending on the science, type of science you are doing, or even engineering, you should apply for what is called as a Ramanujam Fellowship. So just I will try to write it. And there is Ramalinga Swami Fellowship. So these are 2 fellowships which are available for any scientist who wants to take up a scientist, like scientific position in India to start off with. Ramanujam is mainly from the Science and Technology Ministry, so from DST, and Ramalinga Swami is from DBT. So if you work on the biotechnology aspect, then you would like to apply for Ramalinga Swami. Other than that, you have something called as Inspire Faculty Program. Okay. And now it has been closed, but this is my fellowship or faculty position, which is a UGC Faculty Recharge Program. These are external positions. That means you can apply for these positions and then you can directly place yourself in various universities. Even when you're applying for Ramanujam and Ramalinga Swami, you have to have a host university. So you have to send an email to the vice chancellor or the directors, and if they're happy to host you, you can send a project proposal to Ramanujam, Ramalinga Swami, and once accepted, you can be one of the fellow, like a scientist in those institutes. Inspire faculty is something. So Ramanujam Ramalinga Swami is only till 35 years old. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So Ramalinga Swami and Ramanujan is still 35 years old. Inspire faculty is still 32 years old. FRP again is 35. FRP has not yet started as a second phase. So mainly three are there. And the opportunities directly to applying to universities, that's already there on the websites. ICT has them, IITs has them, ISERs have them. So you have to formally apply through those procedures, the application forms and everything is there. There's always a rotating application which is going on in all these institutes. But if you want to come as a fellow to start off with and then develop as a proper academician, then these are the entry point fellowships which are available from the Indian government. And then you can start looking for options in India. I can tell you from like a positive point of view that these are really good fellowships, very competitive. There's one of my colleague here from Bhubaneswar, Dr. Rambabu. He is one of the Ramanujam fellow. So they are very important. But if you want to get a full faculty positions, India is really, really competitive, and the options are not easily available. You have to explore them. You have to have some contacts. You talk to people, and before coming to India to try to get position, otherwise it's not easy at all. So be very careful. You can interact with us. Whatever I have as information, I can pass it on to you. I always do that when I'm interacting with postdocs from abroad, either in my institute and anywhere else. If I get information, I try to send details to them. What are the opportunities after dropping out from Harvard? This is a very interesting question. I think the answer would be to become more like a Apple, or you have to start Apple, you have to start Facebook. I would not say Harvard as such. I would say, let's say, at some point of time, you might not be able to continue with the same vigor in any of the education institutes. I'll give you an example from the point of view. So many students come in the first year to ICT as well with the idea that they would become engineers and they would do well in their career, because they generally are following either the instincts or someone has prompted them to do that. But within a year, they come to know that that might not be their cup of tea, might not be an area which they are excited about. Their fascination lies in something else. And such people, either they fail the exams and then they come to a second, they come to a point where there is no return, as what they think. But I had this opportunity that there was a student really did poorly in the first year. And after the first year, when he came to me, fortunately, I understood that his interest was not chemical engineering. His interest was physics or aviation. And I was able to convince his parents. He went on to become an astronaut, rather. It's astronaut in the sense he's now developing himself into becoming an astronaut. Because he went to the Aeronautic Engineering Institute in Madras. He did fantastically well, topper throughout. He went around the world. He worked for BAE Systems, and then he is now in NASA. So it's not the end of the world if you come out of Harvard, if you come out of anywhere. Dropping out is something which doesn't happen just because of the fact that you are a failure. It happens because there is something which is lacking. It's something which you might not be liking or interested in. Maybe that's not the right path you thought was there for you. But the opportunities are immense. The only thing is that get hold of someone who can guide you well, talk to people, and try to understand what all options are available in front of you. You can be an entrepreneur. You can run on something of your own. uh, you are creative. So if you, let's say you go into Harvard, then you are definitely creative. So think about it as a positive point, that if you come out of such an institute, it's not a negative thing. It's not that you have failed in your life. Rather, this is a starting point of something much better. I hope that it answers your question. Then Ridesh, I think last one or two questions I'll take. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And Prashant, is there an internship available in defense institutes like DRDO, Ordnance Factory? Yes, yes, for sure. Um, I don't know whether I should disclose it here, but I know of a student. Um, I don't want to disclose because the DRDOs and all these are very, they are what do you call it, military-based institutions. Mainly applications are directly for military. That's why I cannot disclose the name here. But I know of a student last year itself, rather this year. That person had gone to DRDO, our own institute student who is there. So these internships are available. My feeling is it is not directly available through the institute as such. There are some internal contacts which are there, some friends or family members or anything, but they are available. And you definitely would love to work for these organizations, even BRC for that matter. You can work with BRC, amazing organization. The type of science you can try to develop there is pretty great. So I would recommend all of you to explore these opportunities. I am always there. You can send me an email or a message. I'm sure that you can interact with all your professors as well. And I would like to say best of luck to all of you. Be positive, be confident. First of all, be very safe. And then if you go this path of taking the internship, do let us know if we can help you in any way possible at BT. We also have what is called as the BT UGRP program, or the undergraduate research program. Please talk to Ridesh as well as our secretaries. They can give you the details about it, and we'll try to help you, try to support you as much as possible. So thank you very much. Thanks, Ridesh.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, my idea was to after completion of B Farm, I'll gain some work experience for like some 1 or 2 year, and then apply for masters in Canada. So what are the conditions required? Is there any scope and like?
Yeah, it's any of the universities. Canada also is a very good universities, and scope is depending on what you exactly want to explore. Because there are many Canadian companies which are there. You can even opt directly to go to America. You can even come to India because pharma is like a huge hub in India itself. Um, so scope-wise, there is no issue at all. Absolutely no problem. Rather, the medicinal chemistry science which is going on in Canada is fantastic. So that is something which you should look at. Even drug discovery as well. Criteria for applying, I don't think that is a problem unless until you have, let's say if you do a job or if you are doing internship and then you want to apply. One thing which is important, your CV is something which you should always look for. How you are developing your CV, what all skills you are adding to the CV. Because I always worry, let's say when I am looking at my CV from 2002 when I completed my master's and when I look at it now, there's a huge difference, huge difference. But that doesn't mean that I'm not adding skills to it. Let's say if I want to apply for some big positions, if I want to be known anywhere, even those are required to, I have to always add something or another. Same thing happens with you, that whenever you are working with some organization, working somewhere, what skills, what instrument, what all things you have learned, jot it down nicely. Always create a document about yourself. And then whenever these SOPs have to be written, these are the points which you are going to add. And when it is seen by people, either America, Europe, Canada, wherever, they'll feel excited. They'll see that you have the skills to be taken up directly for master's or PhD program. And I don't think there should be any major problem as such for you. Okay.
Yes, sir. So I guess everyone has cleared the doubts. And if you have any doubts, I have shared the feedback form. You can write your doubts there also. And now I would first of all tell you that this session must have ignited fire inside you all. A motivation to apply for internship anywhere with help of sir's tips and useful tactics. For today's session, I would like to thank you, Professor Kapdi sir, for taking time out from your schedule to guide all of us present over here with such wonderful insights and techniques and links to join the internships. And I would be really happy to attend more such sessions by him. And I guess you all must be. Very much thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
Anand, can I say 1 minute?
yes, sir,
Yeah,
you can.
thank you, Anand. Nice talk actually related
Thank
to
you.
internship. Yeah, I want to specifically mention DRDO case. One of our student also first year he don't like chemical engineering. He always like music only. Suddenly he went for internship DRDO Pune. Suddenly he liked the chemistry. Suddenly he completely changed for academics. Now he is more focused on academics. Internships suddenly change your life. So it's better to choose right internship. Your life will be beautiful. Try to find out some path, whatever Anand's suggestion. I enjoyed this session. Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Videsh,
Thank you.
Prakash. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Welcome. So now I would like to also add like Bombay Technologist is the oldest student-run journal, and our team and sir we focus on building our research community. We have some upcoming sessions, and we plan to keep our sessions on Friday at this time only. Next session would be about how to use different online research techniques, research softwares which are available. I would request you all to join in on the next event that will be on the next, like on the 20th of Friday, because we have Diwali coming in. So on 20th of Friday, I would request you all to join that event. And I hope our PR messages and our PR team will contact your colleges also. Thank you everyone for attending this event.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You take care.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.